Guys, got a bit of explaining to do. Life got in the way a little bit and didn't manage to complete the conversion videos of the blue R6. Did manage to complete the job, but it went terribly wrong. I sold the bike and a day later it come back with knocking bottom end bearings and stuff, and I don't quite know what's happened yet, but I'm gonna run through and show you the damage and go from there. Quite a lot's happened. I've been distracted by other things, life and all that sort of stuff as usual, but also I had a little whoopsie on the red R6 and that is now a little bit damaged, so we're going to be going for a rebuild on that, and I'm also going to be using the engine from that to save the blue R6 because I need some money in, because through crashing the red one I need a usable bike. I just need one. I can't live without a rideable bike, so I went and bought another one, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is basically a bit of an update video. If it ends up being a little bit short, I might try and film my basic time lapse that I can do on my phone, of how long or how quickly I can pull the engine out of this red R6. We'll see how we go, because I'm doing that tonight, so we shall see. But what I'm going to do now is just have a little walk around with the garage with you and show you the blue R6, the red R6, and also my new one, which is a bit of a temporary model, but we'll see how long she stays around. So that's it. On with the next bit. Right, so here we are at the engine. There's no other way of me showing anything else first without showing the new bike in the background, so I'll start with this. This one's fucked. I mean, really is fucked. I don't quite know how it happened. My only suspicion is on the oil pump where the scavenger pipe actually sits and is sandwiched with the sump. I think that as I've been putting the sump on, it's somehow been knocked, because when I pulled the sump off of this originally, it come off with ease because obviously it's only been recently fitted, but the strainer was laying on its side, so I'm a little it could have fallen off as I pulled the sump off, but even so it didn't seem right to me. Number 1 and number 4 bearings took the hit. The conrod are absolutely screwed. The bearings, I've never seen bearings as bad as this. I mean, look. Never ever seen it. These two are melted together. So it's toast. Got serious burn. Heat scorching on the crank. Also crank damage as well. So that's that. I did a bit of parts number cross-referencing last night when I took this apart, and if anyone knows the answer, please tell me. The only difference between part numbers of the 5EB crank and the 5SL crank is the 5EB and 5SL part. The rest of the numbers are the same. So does that mean the cranks are the same, or is there a slight difference? Because I have 3 cranks under this bench that I could probably use. Same with the conrods. The conrods are the same part number, but 5EB instead of 5SL at the start. But then a lot of the other parts, even in the 5SL engine, start 5EB, like the bearing shells, so on and so forth, and all that sort of stuff. So I just want to know, if anyone does know, is there a difference between the 5EB crank and the 5SL crank? Because I can't see why there would be. And if that's the case, then I've already got the parts, most of the parts, to fix this. This engine is going to go in my red one, which I'm going to show now. Well, actually I've just kind of shown the new one a little bit, so I'm going to do that now. The new one is here. It is a 5PW R1. Bought cheap, found fast. I didn't expect to be buying a bike on the weekend that I picked it up, after the little incident with the red one, which I'll get to in a minute. That's what a quick search on eBay found. Basically, I needed a bike. There was no point in buying another R6 or something like that, because I have got a brand new R1 on order, which is coming in June, hopefully. I've been buying little bits and pieces for that, but I'm, you know, stepping up a peg to the R1. So I thought, well, R1s can be had cheaply, so I might as well go and buy one. And this is what I come up with. I paid £2.5 for it. It was a little bit ropey, I've got to admit. Square back tyre, which it still does have. I'm trying to round it off as best I can, but at the moment I'm pretty broke, so it'll have to do. I've done little bits. It's got these weird riser handlebars on it. It was owned by a lady before. I don't know if these are any good or not. They definitely look quite good, but they're just not for me. It makes the brake fluid reservoir kind of defy gravity a little bit there. So I've got some standard clip-ons on the way for it. I've tidied up the back end, put my little number plate on, a little Roadrunner sticker there. Like I say, it wasn't even cleaned or anything, but then to be fair to the company I bought it from, I rushed them, you know, I need this bike now, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I think they not long got it in, because it had only in the past few days been MOT'd. Yeah, I put my integrated tail light in there. I shortened the can on it. I'm going to get my torch back again. I shortened the can because that was huge, so I've cut that down as much as I can. Just kind of made it mine as best as I could for now. I've put my phone mount on there. It's quite a nice bike, rides well, nice and fast. It's a bit twitchy, it's a bit temperamental, as I described to a few people. It's like a sort of hot-headed woman, if anything. Like, you know, you got to do everything exactly right, and you might not even know what that is, otherwise she'll bite you back fast. Yeah, whereas the R6 is a little bit more forgiving, but I'm having fun with it. That's quite good. I put my skull on there. I kind of do that for just luck and what have you. You know, skulls on bikes and all that's a thing, isn't it? I just like it. It's got an R1M carbon mudguard, front hugger, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it. I bought it for the new one. Got it cheap. It's got a slight bit of lacquer damage, which looks a lot worse in the photos, to be fair. Yeah, got it cheap, and because I got it cheap, when I saw it turn up, I thought, well, it's worth trying to stick on this if it fits. And it bolts up at the front here, for anyone who wants to know, and on the rear, I'll grab my torch again, it doesn't quite fit, you can see there. So what I had to do is just drill a hole next to it where it can bolt up, and it just bolted up fine. It does sit a little proud off the wheel. It looks worse there actually, but in real life it doesn't look that bad at all. So I've left that on there. I put my short levers on. A lot of people hate these, and I'm not a fan of these because they're the cheap Chinese ones, but they've served me well for 3 years, and I didn't like the big long levers on this, so I thought, do they fit? Yes they do. On they went. And that's it, really. Bit of tidying up, and yeah. So, on with the next. What shall we do? The blue one or the red one? Let's go with the red one, shall we? Here we are. Yeah, I kind of had a bit of bit of a whoopsie on this. I've taken the side fairings off. They were a bit damaged, not too bad, but a bit. I've got some grazing down there on the casing which has gone through. That rear set's bent and the foot peg's snapped off. That saved quite a bit of it, to be fair. The tank hit a railway line. I'll get to that in a minute. Side fairing was bolted on there, but I needed to nick some bolts and bits for the R1, so it got sacrificed. Handlebars snapped off, carbon fibres damaged. Yeah, damaged nose cone, scratch on the headlight, scratch on the bottom of my forks. Yeah, so that's that. What happened was I left here and got no more than 100 yards down the road, and with a cold tyre and the tiniest little bit of acceleration on a Saturday morning, and she whipped out on me. And normally when that happens, like for the first second, you know, the bike normally sorts itself out. So when it first happened, I didn't really sort of do anything. I just thought, yeah, well, that's, you know, it's going to sort itself out. And by the time I'd actually thought of that, my arse was hitting the ground, and I'm watching my bike slide across the road, and it was just in front of a train line. So the bike actually slid across the train line and come to a stop on the train line. I didn't actually see the the railway hit the tank, but that's the only way I can see that got done. So yeah, pretty gutted, to be fair. I didn't even need to be taking it to work. I work like 300 yards away, but it was just a Saturday, a nice day. I fancied pulling the bike out and taking it to work and what have you. So, whoops. Yeah. So what's going to be the plan for this one is this is going to save my arse with the blue one by taking this tried and tested and proven lovely engine out and putting it in the blue one to sell the blue one, to resell the blue one, should I say. And then that engine is going to end up in here fully rebuilt and all fresh, and this is now going to have its bodywork done. Going to redo the wheels because they are slightly dinked now. Another story. And my carbon's got to be replaced. That bit of carbon's got to be repaired. I'm still waiting on a couple of other carbon bits to come from the actual suppliers. And basically going to make it the show queen it always was going to be. So, you know, there's no time like the present, and that's what we're going to do. So another rebuild number 3 pretty much on this one. So yeah, right, blue one, last but not least. Here she is. What happened? As I said about when I got to part 3 of this video, life got in the way in terms of other things, should we say. let's just leave it at that. And yeah, I got lazy with the bikes and didn't get around to doing anything, and then it got too late. I needed the money in. I had everything for this bike, I just weren't working on it, so it wasn't working on it, should I say. And that was it. I ran out of time, so I didn't put it together. I don't think I did anything wrong, as it were, because like I say, all I did was put a cylinder head and a sump on a bottom end, and there's no way I would have left the strainer laying on its side. And also the bike was out for over a day and did drive, or ride should I say, around just under 100 miles away from where I had to pick it up when it had blown up. So you know, it wasn't an instant thing. I don't quite know what happened, but like I say, it's getting my tried and tested proven engine, so now it's going to be all good. The guy that bought it was a good friend of mine, so it was all well and good. He was a little bit gutted that, you know, it couldn't be fixed straight away, and it was a serious problem, and the best option was to give him his money back because he really did like the bike. I have offered it back to him, and he's thinking about it, so we shall see where that goes, but if not, it'll be up for sale and it'll sell. It's a really clean bike, so the mileage is slightly high at 40 odd thousand miles, but you know, with the amount of work that's had done to it, it doesn't really sort of warrant the mileage, as it were. So that's that. So what we're going to be doing tonight is pulling the engine out of this and maybe sticking it in this. I'm going to see how fast I can get the engine out of this, and then we'll assess the situation after that. So enough rambling. Most people won't be interested in this video at all, so on we go. See you soon. Right guys, there we have it. 35 minutes in total, and there was a little bit of fucking around, to be fair. So yeah, not too bad. There she is, all stripped. What I'm going to do now, I need to do a little bit of work on this engine. Basically what I've discovered is this thread's a bit damaged, so I'm going to have to probably helicoil this, because I don't, it's a main engine mount, I don't want it to be bad. This case obviously needs to be replaced. I'm going to put all the painted engine cases on it, so I'm going to be cleaning it up a little bit and stuff as well. I decided to leave a manifold on because mine, I'm going to try and find like a new manifold or something. What I'm going to do in the rebuild is try and make it so it's a really good clean one. So I want things like no rust, i.e. manky old manifolds and stuff like that. So I mean, this one ain't too bad, but it's not how I want it to be. So it's good enough for that one to be sold off. As I say, it's perfectly fine. All the bolts are come undone and all that sort of stuff. So but that's that. So all I'm going to do now is swap these two bikes around. I'm going to put the blue one up front and tuck mine away over there, and that's it. That'll be it. So there's no point in me recording that. So this is the end of the video, I guess. Next part, I'll be fitting the engine into the blue one once it's all cleaned and sorted out. So we'll get to that stage, and then we'll do that and then go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.